to go. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our session. Sorry, we started in a bit late, just some network issues, but I can assure you that we will be done in good time and that we'll finish right on time. My name is Margaret Amulavu, and I'm tuning in from Nairobi, Kenya. And I will just tell you a little bit about myself before we get into our main session. But I want to welcome each and every one of you. And if you're a guest, very, very welcome. This session is actually for you. Before this business that I'm going to talk about, I work for an international bank. And after working for this bank for 8.5 years, I chose to resign. And I chose to resign because I came home one day and our son was 3 years then, said, "Mommy does not come home." Apparently it was true because I was in the bank at a time of transition when we were moving from manual records to computer. So the earliest I got home was actually midnight. The bank made it comfortable. They gave me a vehicle to take me home. I was quite far from town, so I had to leave my house by around 5 o'clock, and the earliest I got home was midnight. They gave me a vehicle to take me home, a taxi. They also gave us food in the bank, and they also paid me double the salary. Actually, the overtime was double what my actual salary was. So it's like I was getting 3 times, and such a job would have been difficult to leave. But when I thought that my 3-year-old son thinks I don't come home, that really got concerned for me. And then the other thing, I do come from a very mixed background. My father is a Kenyan, and my mother is from Malawi. And then I'm married to Charles, who comes from the western part of Kenya. And I just thought if my in-laws had this story of a 3-year-old saying that the mother doesn't come home, they might just think I'm as confused in my life as my background. And with those 2 reasons, when I got a second child 2 years after my son said that, I actually decided to leave the bank. But to date, I really don't have regrets for leaving the bank because that's where I met Charles, a very supportive husband. He's been there, he has encouraged me. He's my partner in the business. And it's part of the reason that I am who I am. He has allowed me to be who I am. And I'll forever be grateful because the time I decided to leave the bank, I didn't warn him. I didn't alert him. I left at a very, very difficult time for us. We had a bank loan. We had a mortgage for a house. We had a car loan. Our son was then 5 years going to school. And we had a younger kid who was 6 months. So I left him with a big financial burden. And so I just decided to go home. So this opportunity for me is God-given. It found me at home. And I remember that I prayed to God and I said, just give me 2 things. I'd stayed home for a year. I was not happy because I was okay to bring up the children because I'd understood at an early age that I cannot be an ex-parent, but I can be an ex-employee. I can be an ex-worker. I knew everything is ex, but parenting, I knew that there is no day I'll be an ex-parent. And I understood that I could put my career on hold, but I would not put up my children's growing up on hold. And so I decided that the career could wait and I decided to bring up my children. The long and short of it, I was not happy when I stayed at home because number one, I didn't have an income because when Charles and I met, I was already working. There are decisions I could not make, especially financial decisions. I couldn't change the food when I want. There are functions I couldn't go to. There are things that were personal to me that I did with my money that I could no longer do. And I couldn't get so upset with him because you see, I've left him a big financial burden and I didn't even warn him. In fact, a normal man should have thrown me out because that was really a heavy financial burden. But I'll always thank God for the person who invited me to this opportunity because today when I look back, I don't know what I could have been doing. And if you have been invited, I want to tell you the person who invites you values you a lot. They know you are worthy. They're actually more than a friend. They really want good things for you. So today I am very excited to be the one sharing this opportunity. I always look forward and I'm forever available when I get a chance to just talk about this opportunity because I can tell you it has totally transformed in me in every way, from the way I talk to the way I look to the way I operate to the relationships I have to, so many things, to the value addition it's done on my life. I know the person who left the bank, this is actually my 27th year since I resigned from that job, is not the person who is now talking. That boy who was 5 years when I left the bank now turns 31 this year, is actually going to get married towards the end of the year. And I'm really looking forward to that. I don't have my second born. That will be a story that I'll give along the way. And then I've got a third born who turns 21 this year. And I'm forever grateful that I got the time and opportunity to give them the values that I believe in. I don't live with either of them, including the younger one, because our schooling is a bit far from where I'm living right now. But I'm never worried that at 20 years, turning 21 in May, I'm not worried about her because I know the values I put in her are really key. I tell people it's not what you leave for the children, it's what you leave in them that is very, very important. And this opportunity gave me a chance to live in my children what nobody can take away. And I want to tell you that that's what is going to happen to you. Just follow us, listen to us keenly. And I can tell you that the friend who invited you is great. And at the end of this meeting, make sure you connect with them because they value you so much. And with that, I want to do screen sharing. And so I can tell us why we're in this place this evening. And I just want to say that we are in a business that is giving you an opportunity. I hope my screen is not, sorry. Oh, all right, there I am, and I can go to slideshow. Yeah. Okay. Just give me 1 minute and we can start right over. Yeah, so that is our way through what I'm going to share with us. I moved from a size 20 to a size 12, and that's exciting. And I feel vibrant, I feel energetic, and I'm just good to go. This opportunity starts with what we call dreams. And I know when we were younger, we had dreams, but as we move towards our older ages, especially when we leave school and start working, those dreams seem to fizzle somewhere. In fact, somebody says that our dreams die at 25, but we die at 25, but get buried at 65, because when you don't have a dream, you're actually dead. Because without a dream, you have no hope, and without hope, what are you living for? So maybe your dream is to earn extra income. And I know in this COVID time, in the last 2 years, really extra income is really something, because you can do a lot more with extra or additional income. And if you don't have an income, then this could actually be an income for you. Maybe you want to be your own boss. You're tired of people ordering you around, eating food you don't want, wearing clothes you don't want to wear, being where you don't want to be when you don't want to be, waking up at hours which are determined by somebody else. Maybe you reach where I am and you say, what I think I want to determine where I want to work from, with who, do what I want, when I want, and from whichever point, and I want to give myself orders now that I'm a grown up. Maybe your dream is to have good health and well-being. You know, health is how your body works, well-being is how you feel. And so we are saying that maybe you're just this kind of a person and you're saying, what, you know what, I want to be healthier. I want to live a good, healthy life, because, you know, if you don't have health, you don't have anything. Maybe that's your dream. Maybe your dream is to have family time. For me, that was one of the challenges I had in the bank. Remember, I used to come home at 11 p.m. and that means I really didn't have time for my children. In fact, it got to a point when the house help went, they cried. And when I went, they said, Mommy, bye. And I started wondering, are these my kids or hers? And so maybe you just want to have this more family time. Because it's a paradox in life, the things we value the most, we seem to give them the least time. And it's like, if you have time, you don't have money, and you have money, you don't have time. Maybe you're just thinking, you know what? Family is one of the very key important things in your life. And you're going to realize when everything out there doesn't work, family each and everything. Maybe you need to think that you need to give your family more time. Maybe you're thinking of buying a wonderful, beautiful car or a machine that will take you to a destination. You know, there are some cars when you put in the ignition, everybody knows that you have put it on because maybe you're calling neighbors to push it, saying it is the weather. Maybe you just want a machine that when you put it on, you know, it will take you exactly where you're going. In fact, I know that I got to a point I used to wonder, why do people have 2 or 3 different types of cars? And I've come to understand that you drive a car according to the destination you're going. Maybe you're that kind of a person who's saying, I'm so much worth that I want a car that I can depend on, the car that I can rely on, a car that I know will take me where I'm going without any issues. That's one of our friends and our colleagues in Tanzania. And that car, we actually call it a machine, not even a car. Maybe that's your dream. Maybe your other dream is to travel the world. Some of us go in places where that's where you went to school, that's where you work, that's where you got married, and that's where you do your everything. Maybe you're looking at these planes and the closest you've come to a plane is either in a book or seeing it up there when it flies, and you're thinking, how does it actually feel to just travel and go to another part of the world? Maybe another dream is to help people. There are people who, when they help people, they feel I've actually lived a life. And in fact, I think this is also one of the things that I've come to understand and appreciate, that when you help others, you actually do things that will outlive you. But when you do things for yourself, they're going to die with you. Maybe that is a dream you have, and maybe you share that dream with me. These are just some of the dreams you might have, and you could add more. And what I want to tell you, that if you're dreamt and dead and you no longer think dreams are valid, I want to tell you every dream is valid, and you can actually achieve it through what we are going to share. The company offering us this opportunity is Neolife, a company that started in 1958. We are now 65 years old in the world. We're operating in over 50 countries in the world. And we've got a mission that we have of making the world a healthier and a happier place. The man who started this company, Jerry Brasfield, started it at 19. He had an asthma challenge. And through using some of the products that we're going to share with you this evening, he totally recovered at 19. And he decided to set up the biggest wealth company that there is in the world. And we're just saying that we don't want to leave the world the way we found it. We want to make it healthier and a happier place. We've got values. And we say our values that are what has kept us these 65 years. You cannot imagine a company 65 years and in over 50 countries. In East Africa, this is our 27th year. It came in 1996. And these are some of the values: absolute integrity. We say what you say and what you do must tally and must match. People are number one. We value people. People are everything. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Then we've got products that work. Our products do the work. And we are saying that they're not the products that you spray and pray. You know, there's some products as you're spraying, trying to see if they work, you're praying as well. No, these are products that work and we even give you money back guarantee. Then we've got an equal opportunity for all. As long as you're 18, 90, whatever age you are, you've got a dream and a vision, you come, you've got an identity, we will be able to work with you to achieve what you want. So whether you went to school, you didn't go to school, tall, light, we don't even care which continent you come from. You know, there's some jobs, even like here in Kenya, I know that when people are recruited in the army, they even check the dental formula. Can you imagine a thing like that, that you don't even have control? You don't even have control over your height. And as we are saying, just come as you are, but we are going to help you to transform and become the person that you want to be. Then we've got a long-range vision. That 60 years we are here, and we're believing that another more than 100 years will still be here. This is a thing that can help you leave what we call a legacy, something that outlives you, so the work you do today can pay you for the rest of your life. You know, there are some things you do and you don't know if you're not here tomorrow, they die with you. This is the kind of thing that you do, and long after you're gone, it is still working and rewarding those people you leave behind. I want to start off with what we call health, because we believe health is our greatest wealth. And there's just some dietary factors. That 95% of what we eat lacks nutrients. Somebody has said we are an overfed society, but undernourished. And then 75% of what we consume is actually incorrect. We know it is not right, but we'll still eat it. That has brought us a challenge. There's something called the wellness pyramid of how we are supposed to eat and feed so that we are able to be healthy. First of all, we are saying down here, you need to do some physical activity and weight management. For weight, you need to know your BMI. At your height, you should be a certain weight. And that's why when you go to a doctor, they ask you to step on the scale, because they want to make sure that at your height, you're the right weight. Because if you're overweight or underweight, it can give you a lot of challenges. In fact, sometimes it's more dangerous to be under than over. Then whole grains, non-processed foods. Foods are usually whole grain food. They're usually brown in color, not very tasty. They don't look good, but you feed with very small portions. And most of the time, we don't even think about it. And then we're supposed to follow with fruits and vegetables. So 40% of your diet should be whole grains. Like if I talk to the East Africans where we are based, I know there are people tuning in as far as from South Africa, even Nigeria, even the UK. But here in East Africa, you find we've got almost 3 types of grains: wheat, rice, and something we call ugali. And so you find today, if you eat rice, tomorrow you're eating chapati, and you're eating ugali, those are the whole grains. So 40% of your food needs to be whole grains. Then fruits and vegetables. For fruits and vegetables, we count colors. We say you need to eat between 6 and 9 different colored fruits and veggies, because colors do different things in our bodies. And then, of course, then 20% needs to be protein, and preferably white meat, not red meat. Most of the time we're eating red meat. And so we are saying, like, I know that here in Kenya, we've got a place that people do what we call nyama choma. In South Africa, they call it the braai. And we are saying that a quarter kilo of that meat should actually be eaten by 12 people and a child. In other words, you just need 3 to 4 pieces, especially of red meat. And then fats and sugar, we should do the least. But you know what? Research is telling us we've turned this thing upside down. What we should do the least, we are doing the most. And as a result of that, we've gotten a challenge. Lack of not eating whole grains results in what we call a sick and tired cell or an unhealthy cell. The cell membrane gets locked up. And so very little food goes in, very little waste goes out. This is a sick cell, and cells usually multiply. We've got about 73 trillion cells, and you're only as healthy as your cell. Whereas when you eat the right food, the cells are soft and permeable. Food can go in, waste can go out. This particular process is done by what we call whole grains or unprocessed foods. And so we are saying that there is a problem between what you're eating and what you are supposed to do. And so this company gives you a solution in form of what we call supplements. And I always say that supplementation is not new, because I know that people who keep bred cows give it the leek and some other vitamins. People who keep chicken give chicken vitamin. And I keep on asking these farmers, so you give your cows and your chickens something to make them more productive. What is it that you take to make you as productive? And they go out and they say, you know what, we actually don't do it. And I also know that people who rear horses, actually, some people, the amount of supplements they give horses is more than their food for almost half the year. And so we are saying that you need to do something about your health. And so we've got a solution, and we are saying that our solution is a product called TriNN, made from wheat, rice, and soya, that gives you what we call whole grain oils. And we all know that the oil industry is the richest industry. I mean, without oil, even we can't even move our cars. So the biggest portion of the food you need is oil. So TriNN has got the oils, lipids, and sterols that make the outer part of the cell membrane soft and permeable, allowing food in and waste out. And those are some of the things that TriNN will even improve utilization of food by 50%, meaning that what you eat is going to get fully utilized in the cell. And each and everybody who is alive today needs this product, because you could be eating quality food, but if your cells are locked up, then it doesn't get in there. So we are saying in this food pyramid, if you've got a challenge with weight, we've got a weight management program where you can add weight or reduce weight on depending on what you want to gain. And it is the last weight loss program or weight management program you'll ever need, because after you use it and achieve what you want, whether addition or reduction, you can use just supplements, exercise, and just diet, and you are able to maintain the weight. And then we've got fruits and vegetables. We give you carotenoid, a very powerful product, the only immune booster known in the world that can give you immunity from outside. 115 kilos in that 90 capsule container. It's actually got 7 different fruits and vegetables. Very, very powerful. It's also anti-aging, actually reduces the cells aging process by 44. That must be very good news for ladies, because we want to look 18 all our lives. And then it also helps to form what we call T killer cells, anti-cancer cells. Also helps improve cataracts, helps reduce oxidation of cholesterol, which means it will help with heart functions. Man, that product you cannot do without. These are some of the things you're saying, you know what, immunity in the last 2 years is really big deal. I remember when we started and talked about immunity, people would say, how do I know that I don't have proper immunity? But I think in this time and era, we actually do understand that immunity is everything. Then for protein, we call a Neolife shake. It helps to lower your BMI or body mass index. That means it will help you manage your weight. It also helps heart function. But the biggest thing it does, it produces hormones, the right hormones that determine how you feel. It also introduces, helps you to produce enzymes because it's got amino acids that form enzymes. Enzymes help you to break down food to give you energy. So if you don't have the right combination of a protein with the 22 amino acids, it means there are certain enzymes you don't produce, and as a result, you get allergic and all sorts of reaction. And then it also helps the body to form what we call antibodies that help to fight disease. A very, very key product indeed. Then for fats and sugars, we've got omega-3, very exclusive to Neolife. It's got 8 molecules of the omega. Most of the omegas in the shop only have got 2 molecules. With 8, you know, when you're missing any of the molecules, it does not even give you value for money. And it reduces inflammation by 68% in just 8 weeks. That is really, really high. Very good for brain function, for your eyes. Great for pregnant women, because when we get pregnant, the first place that forms is the brain, and it needs what we call fatty acids. And this product has got the right fatty acids. And then it also helps with concentration, alertness, memory. Some people forget, you know, I find people forgetting even they've got the car keys and they're looking for them. And if you don't have a phone, you're always telling somebody to call the phone. So I keep on wondering, if you wear specs and you lose them, I don't know who's going to call for you to find them. So an excellent product, and helps with inflammation, especially joint issues, flexibility, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful product. So these products are found in a Vitality, and we are seeing these items are our key nutrition. Those 4 products, the TriNN, carotenoid, omega, and a multivite, with all the vitamins and minerals that your body needs in the proportions that it does need. And then with the Neolife shake, and I call this Get Up and Go program, because when you've got this program, you can actually get up and go. So we are saying for very basic health, you just want to feel good, be good from head to toe. These 2 items will address all. We've got other products that I'll run through quite quickly because of time, because we started a bit late. We also have supplements for children, because children are actually, of course, some of the challenges that adults are getting actually started in childhood. There's something called 1,000 days, that the first 1,000 days of a child's life determine what they will suffer from or not suffer from. We count 1,000, the 9 months of pregnancy, the first year and the second year, those 1,000 days. So our kids' nutrition is everything. And we've got them in a convenient way. They remove craving, they give normal appetite. When children go back to school, they don't have to get the colds and the flus. And the greatest thing, they also help them form anti-cancer cells. Very, very wonderful products, very well researched, and they are high quality and they do a good job. We also have very good cleaning products that are economical. environmental friendly, they don't harm you or the environment, and they are biodegradable, meaning they turn back to nature, and then they are concentrated. So a little goes a long way. They help you to save money, save time and energy, because they work so well. Maybe I'll just talk about Super 10 because that's a product that I first used when I came into the business. And I remember Super 10 is a stain remover, actually a super stain remover. It can replace more than 10 items in a home, and you can see a whole home drawn, and it can give you actually up to 20 liters of ready-to-use product. So when you get the price of a liter, just know it's got 20 liters in there. And because we are saying we want to make the world healthier, we don't want to throw more plastic. So we are saying, why pack 20 bottles in 20 plastic containers? Why not just pack all these 20 in one and give you something to help you dilute on a need basis? So instead of throwing 20 containers into the environment, we can actually throw one. So you're not only saving yourself, you're also saving the environment. And I remember Super 10 being a stain remover, and the people who would understand stain removing best are laundry shops, because laundry shops have got a stain remover for everything. Blood, tea, coffee, juice, tomato sauce, biro, ink, lipstick, all of them, they've got different stain removers. As we are saying, we just have one that does everything. And I remember the first time I used Super 10, I remember reading at night because I didn't have a mentor. And so I used to read early in the morning and then try what I've read out in the evening. And I remember at 10 o'clock one day, I read about Super 10, diluted it in the ratio that told me 1 to 10. And I remember spraying a room that we were using for a stove, a kerosene. And it was a white wall and it turned all black. And I remember just spraying and just seeing all this soot falling down and the white color back. And I remember from 10 o'clock, I slept at 2. I was so excited. And these products work. That's why I say that they're products that you don't have to spray and pray. You spray and you know they'll do the work. They'll save you a lot of time, money, and energy, and not to even mention health. Some of us have got a chemist of detergents, a chemist of detergents, the name of soaps, and some of the allergies we are getting and some of the growths, especially for women, can be attributed to this cleaning product. And then we've got an excellent laundry soap that is both for machine and hand wash. There is no product like this one because there's no product we have that does both machine and hand washes. An amazing product that cleans the machine parts as well, which means that when you use it on the machine, you don't have to get residue or scum. So you never have to service your machine. And that means your machine can give you long life. And then the other thing for hand soak your clothes overnight or at least for 2 hours. What to do? Actually, we call it the wonder drop because 2 or 3 days after you water your crops, you realize the water is still there. So it has got something that helps the water not evaporate. And then for the crops, it's got a sticker, which means once you spray it on an item or a fruit or whatever it is you're growing, even if it rains, that product cannot get off that. It will do the work. And an interesting product that was done in Kenya research and showed that you get 167% more yield by using this product. A liter will actually cover 3 acres, which means 5 liters will cover 15 acres, and that is good value for your money. We've got skincare, and our skincare are not cosmetic. We're the only company that has got what we call organic products. They work with your skin and not on your skin. They protect your skin from the environment, the heat, the dust, the sun, the cold, and all those environmental issues. And so because it's not a cosmetic, it's for both men and women because the sun doesn't know John and Joanne. So it is not a cosmetic, it will not change the color, and it is skin tailored. You need to know your skin type. Then you can be able to use them. An amazing product. It's a run through. Work from where you want with who you want. You can be able to enjoy freedom being your own boss. You can travel the world, get personal development. But that's one of the things I've benefited from greatly. You know, I know I do sessions and people think that I'm a great person, but I want to tell you the training that this business has given me in terms of personal growth and development, amazing. I'm more confident, I'm more articulate. I can be able to express myself and break down to things that people, an ordinary person, can understand. And I can just tell you it is Neolife. It will make you a good person. Good means get out of debt. And then also you've got long-term relationships. You know, the capital relations I have in this business are amazing. I got friends all over the world. The only person I knew when I came was the person who introduced me. But today I've got friends all over the world. In fact, somebody said, if the only way you get paid is through money, you're a very poor person. For me, those relationships mean a lot, and they're real friends. Friends who are genuine, who care for you and are concerned for you and are happy for you when things happen, and also mourn with you should things not go the way they should. And then you can get healthy and help the people around you. So how does our business work? Very simply, 3 things. Use the product. I already talked about, for example, the Pro-Vitality. Once you use the Pro-Vitality, you're more energetic. In fact, by the 3rd or 4th day, your energy levels are good, your elimination is good, and you start feeling very, very good, your concentration, your alertness, and you just realize that the energy levels are great. And you're saying that experience, share it with somebody, talk to somebody. And for example, you use it and get 6 customers. And if you get 6 customers, you can actually be able to start creating what we call a retail base. And you're able to make a profit plus commission of about $50. And I can tell you $50 is good money at the beginning to start with. For me, that meant a lot. In fact, in the beginning, for me, the profits meant a lot. They could help me do things like airtime. Remember, I'd left a bank job and now I'd started with zero, no income. They could help me pay some small bills, be able to change a meal here and there. They would enable me even just maybe do my hair. They would enable me maybe buy even just one item that I want to change in the house. And we are saying it doesn't even stop there, that our business, you need to care for people and you need to value people and want the best for people. And we are saying that is then share the opportunity, tell others there is something they can do next time that will help them. The products will help you with their health. If it's a skincare, you're going to look good. If it's the cleaning, you're going to save a lot of money. And so, for example, you share with 3 friends, you're not limited. We say build a team. For you to get financial freedom in this world, you cannot do it alone. You need to duplicate your time and effort through others. So, for example, you get 3 people who do exactly what you do. They use the products and they also have their customers. Your commission plus the commission plus the profit is between $100 and $250. And I can tell you that's great money. For me, it took me 8 years to earn this kind of money in the bank. A whole 8 years. And in this business, I was able to do this in about 6 months because I didn't have a mentor and I didn't understand. But that was for very good for me because I said, you know what, how can I earn the same money doing this business part-time? And in a full-time job that I come to the office at 8 and leave at midnight, I'm making the same money. And in the beginning, I thought either this company is not true or the bank was a liar because I couldn't understand how that happens. And so that $250, great money. In Kenya shillings, that's between 10,000 and 225,000. And in your currency, convert it. That's why we use dollars, because then we can convert to the other currencies that we have around the world. It doesn't even stop there. We paid every single month by the 10th through electrical fund transfer or mobile money. And I can tell you in the 26 years I've been in the business, they've never failed to pay. And even if there's a challenge, they'll have communicated way back. I think this is the one company I know that is debt-free. We owe nobody nothing. Then it doesn't even stop there. Through personal growth, weekly training and mentorships, you can get to the level of director. A director makes $500. Man, that's good money. $500, if you save the whole year, you can actually buy a car. $500, you can start thinking holiday. $500, you can actually start changing meals. You know, you start looking at the left-hand side of the menu and not the right. Some of us are eating money and not the food. Women, you can start wearing clothes that fit your body and not your pocket. You know, you go to a boutique and you're saying, I can only afford something for $100. So you shop for the money and not what you really want to bear. And then the men can start at least taking us for holiday. In Kenya, most men take us to upcountry when it is holiday time, because upcountry, there is wood from the forest, there's water from the river. So the costs are less and they're thinking they're bringing us good. I'm telling you, it's a lot of disservice, because sometimes when you go at that upcountry, we are working harder in the upcountry than when we are here in the town. Maybe that can do for you. Actually, life in Neolife starts a director. It doesn't even stop there. The more directors you develop, the more you grow, and you can get to the level of world team. Man, world team. You start traveling the world, $1,000 to $2,000. I remember in 2005 when we reached that level, I said, I'll never work. How do you make $200 and you're in the house? 2,000, you're in the house. I'm able to bring up the children. I'm able to have the life of my time. I'm able to cook meals on time. I'm able to clean and to enjoy my quality time. I'm able to give them my values. and I'm still earning. What a business. I don't know anything that can do better for you. And at World Team, things start changing. You actually start getting what we call a world view, because you start meeting other people in the world and your mind just transforms. It doesn't even stop. You can get to president's team. I know you're used to one president in a country. Our top is flat. As many of us as can do the job of developing directors, you can get to president's team. $3,000 from home, working with who you want, when you want, from where you want. I don't think there is anything that can match that. And I can tell you $3,000 is good money. Here in Kenya, $3,000, people have to go to parliament, they've got to campaign, they've got to do a lot of schooling, and they have to know some godfathers. Imagine by just empowering other people, as you help your other people and help yourself, you get to that level. And I can tell you it is amazing. I want to stop here. When we travel, these are some of the places we go to. I remember the London trip. Amazing. London, very organized, going through the Thames River, 6 kilometers underwater, and you just feeling some whispering under the water. An amazing place, very organized, everything runs on time, underground trains that are punctual. Oh man, London, oh God, if you want to see organization in real life, go to London. Things operate 24 hours, even the gyms. I also remember Cape Town, very amazing, going to where Mandela was jailed, the Robben Island, and just seeing what we call cable cars, and where the ocean meets and they don't even mix. The water doesn't even mix because one is cold water, salty water, and the other one is fresh. An amazing place. And you know what? I want to stop there because I've got a very interesting guest this evening, and I'm so excited that I'm the one who is hosting this person. I look up to this person. He's one of the guys I would say very exceptional, did the business in a crazy way at a young age. You know, sometimes we say you better earn according to your age, but this guy earns many, many more times more than his age. He is educated. He's got like 3 degrees. So this business is not for people who didn't go to school. It's actually for people who went to school, and even if those who didn't go, but we are saying it can do a lot more. He's done a big business. He's a president team member, and he's been a president team member for more than 10 years. I can tell you his life is amazing, and I don't want to share his story. He's one of those guys I say I look up to. He's my mentor, though younger than I. There's what is called reverse mentorship. And like I said, you're very privileged to be on this call and to be listening to this young man. And Andrew Bugembe, if you can hear me, you can unmute and share your amazing story. That makes me feel like signing up a form like right now when we leave the meeting. Andrew, if you can hear me, very welcome, and you can share with us. Thank you.
Yes, I can, Margaret. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Andrew.
All right, fantastic. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, especially to our guests. I'd just like to take this moment and welcome you, especially if you're a guest onto the call. I know we have a number of people that are logging in from different parts of Africa, and we just want to perhaps share with you my story. I just want to share with you my story. And thank you, Margaret, for that very awesome presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bugembe Andrew. I am Ugandan, and I'm based right here in Kampala. I saw this opportunity a couple of years ago. It was actually approximately 17 and a half years ago. How did it find me? I was studying at the University of Makerere, and I was getting into the university to pursue my electrical engineering degree. I had lived a life that was rather challenging a bit, not challenging so much, but challenging a bit, because I remember when I was about 6 years old, we lost our mother to cancer. And growing up with a single father, I saw how hard he worked. I saw how much effort he put in to see us through our education, and also see us through as successful young men, me and my brother. So coming into this opportunity, one of the things that really, really motivated me to look at something of this nature, I had been looking for something to do in addition to my education, to what my education was going to offer, which education I was pursuing. I was pursuing electrical engineering. And so looking at this, while I was getting into the university, looking for something to do part-time, I tried a number of things. I tried something to do with a video library. Here in Uganda, we have video libraries, or we had, I don't even know if they still exist. I'd also tried to do something with Learning Money, where you get together as a group and then we collect money as a group of people, and then we lend money, but we didn't even have the capital to start that. So by that time, my friend, a friend I'd been with, had been able to grow up with from primary school, invited me. I was actually a little bit more open-minded to looking at what this business has to offer. So I don't know if you're here today. You could have been invited by a friend. First of all, I think take a few minutes after this meeting and just go out to them and just thank them, because what this lady did for me was exceptionally life transforming. When she invited me over to look at this opportunity, I met people who were talking about the fact that you could actually be able to earn an additional income that could cater for some of the basic needs that someone loves. I'm one person who has always loved to prepare early. And I know if you're on the call, I just want to sort of just pass on that spirit to you. Preparation, early preparation equals success. I think that's something I quickly picked up when I was much younger. I don't like doing things last minute. I don't like building a house last minute. I don't like having to look for children's tuition last minute. I don't like to, so everything for me had to be kind of planned way ahead. So when I saw this opportunity, even when I didn't have children then at the age of 20, even when I didn't have a house, I didn't have a car, I saw it as an opportunity that was going to help me provide for those things in the future. Because I'd seen a number of people around me, especially those that had left the university and had gone into the profession I was doing, that were not earning the money. They were earning the money, but they always told me it was not enough. That money coming in from the job was not enough, and they needed to look at something else that could put in some additional income. I didn't want to wait to get a job first for me to start seeing that this money is not enough so that I could get some additional income elsewhere. I said, you know what? Let me pursue this business as I'm also getting my education, my degree, so that by the time I leave the university, I will have something in addition to the degree. I know this week back here in Kampala, a number of students did graduate. At the time I graduated, I think it was probably about 10 or 15,000 students. I thought that was a lot. This week, I think we had more than 30,000 students do graduate from Makerere University. And one of the things that worried me then, which I think also still worries people up to this very day, yes, after your graduation, then what next? What happens? Where do you go? And yes, if you get a job, will they pay you the kind of income that will sustain you? Sometimes the amount of money you earn is equivalent to the rent, the transport, the food that you are paying. You're basically just surviving. You're not living. You're just paying. You're just able to survive through the month and pay just enough to cover your living expenses. You know. So when I saw this opportunity, I said I will take it up and I'll make it a must that I can be able to build something out of this. I am very grateful to the person who showed me this opportunity. And I must say that if she had not invited me, I did not even begin to want to think of where I would be today. But one thing I remember she said to me, because I was kind of big-headed, one thing I very much remember that she said to me that I want to just put out to all the professionals here. I remember she asked me whether I could come in for a meeting and have a look at what Neolife had to offer. I remember telling her I'm a very busy person. We engineers are very busy. We don't have time and blah, 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 blah. And I remember she made a statement that made me think about life from a different perspective. She said, sometimes in life, you can't be very busy. You don't have time, January to January, Monday to Monday, month after month, but you're very busy becoming poor. And for me, that also kind of opened up my eyes because like I've shared with you, looking at the kind of salary I was going to get from my workplace, I didn't want to be in a situation where all the income I'm earning from my workplace is equal to the expenses that I'm going through trying to just keep alive. You know, you find that you don't save anything to add to your life every other year. So looking at this and getting involved in this, I just asked God to help me with the courage to build this business up to the point where it would pay me an additional $200, which at the time in 2005 was about 500,000. So all I wanted when I started and saw this opportunity was 500,000 Uganda shillings. That is all I wanted. And for me, that was enough motivation because I set that goal. I said, you know what, let me go. I'll study from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And at 4 p.m., instead of wasting all that time doing things that do not contribute to my future, I will choose to be uncomfortable then so that I can be comfortable in the future. So I chose to use that time after my school to build a business that could pay me at least $200 every single month. That's all I wanted. Fortunately, ladies and gentlemen, a few months down the road, 6 months down the road, I was already earning at least $200 out of this opportunity, which was about 500,000 Uganda shillings at the time. By the time I was in my second semester, doing my electrical engineering degree, I was earning about 1.5 million shillings, which could have been approximately about $800 at the time. And that really excited me. It really, really excited me because I remember being in a classroom with one of my lecturers and he was teaching and he was not happy about his payment. And together with the rest of the university, as an association, they had planned to go on strike in a few weeks' time. And he was telling us next week we're not coming into work because unless this university increases our income to about $800, we are not coming back to teach you guys. And in my heart, I said, wow. So the amount of money I'm earning for my Neolife business is what the lecturers are trying to fight to start earning. And they're going on strike to want to impose on the government to try and pay them that kind of income. And I took a moment of, I would say, a moment of silence. I sat down and reflected on that situation. And I asked, you know what, maybe this is what God is trying to show me, not to take what I have for granted. And from 2007, May, I decided that I was going to do this business full-time and very seriously. So as I continued studying, I also continued building the business. By the time I was done with my university, I graduated just on time. By the time I was done with my university, I was also earning about, say, close to about $2,000 every single month. And that's when I decided to get into this really, really full-time, building the business. And it has been like that ever since then. What has the business done over the years? I must say one of the things that this opportunity has done for me as Andrew Bugembe, together with my family, is financial security. The level of financial security for me was tested during the COVID period. I can tell you during the COVID period, as many people were worried about their incomes and all those things as to whether we would be able to continue earning an income. Neolife showed me that, or Neolife, this opportunity showed us that it is possible for you to remain afloat even when there's a crisis through this opportunity. And I'll tell you one thing for sure. I have seen so many people come up and do different sorts of businesses out there. And many times the struggle is real. I mean, it's difficult to come up and build a business. Maybe if you're on the call, you'd even be wondering, why would I even need to build a business? You see, one thing I was taught when I saw this opportunity was that all the people that are in life where I want to be are business owners. And for me, that stuck in my head because I looked around and I saw that people like the people I was trying to become, the engineers, all of them, at one point, they would earn a salary, and at a later point in their lives, they would want to start a business that could supplement their income or that would help them retire well. So when I saw this opportunity and I saw it as something that you can do as a business and build something that you can be able to live on, even that can live beyond you, I'd say that I was going to really do it. So looking at this opportunity and doing it for the last 17 and a half years, I can tell you one thing for sure. The level of financial security you'll find with Neolife, a company that has been around for the last 65 years, will be that kind of financial security that you will not find in so many places. You can be able to find it here and there, but you'll find that not every place that you are placed in has that level of financial security that Neolife has to offer. And maybe I'll explain just a little bit more when I come to the bit of legacy. So financial security has been such a big deal. We are really blessed that during this opportunity, we have been able to earn a very good income over the years, a consistent income over the years that has allowed us to be able to purchase a few assets in our lives. You know, I remember purchasing my first car when I was just 21 at the university in my second year. It had a very bad radiator. It would heat up every other time. The boot could not close. When you were in a dusty road, you'd have more dirt inside. But what made me so proud of that car is the fact that I bought it using Neolife money, and it was my car. It was not my father's car. It was not a car that had been donated to me. It was money that I had gotten out of this Neolife business. Well, a few years down the road, I can tell you that a lot has changed. I think for me, things like driving cars has come to pass. It's the past. It's not something that you can say and impress me with, because it's been possible. But in the beginning, I didn't even think it were possible, because I remember growing up and seeing my father buy his first car at the age of 42. We were all excited. I think I was about, I don't remember, maybe I was about 10 years. We were all excited about his first car. Coming to this Neolife business, I didn't even ever think I would be able to buy a car at 21. I thought maybe if I did well, I'll maybe do it at about 35. But courtesy of this opportunity, it can allow you to dream again. And usually I tell people, if you want to build this business, you need to dream. You need to have a reason. You need to be uncomfortable, because this business does not work for people that are comfortable. It works for people that are ready and are hungry to change their lives. And I think I was that one kind of character. So as far as financial security is concerned, I can tell you that is something that you'll be able to appreciate and get through Neolife. Okay, I don't need to say this, but I think it's important for me to say, to just put the financial security thing across. Our daughter today, Janet and I got married to Janet, a wonderful lady called Janet, who actually introduced me to the business. We have over the years been able to save up, get a very good place where we are able to stay. But for me, what has, I think, been very, very critical, and I think, Margaret, you hinted on it, it's not what you leave for your children, it's what you leave in them. So one of the things that I've really treasured in my life is education, because if you can give your child the best education, believe me, whether you're here or not, many years down the road, that investment you've made in your child will be able to push them onto the next generation. Yeah. So Janet and I, my wife, we have been able to educate our daughter in a very, very fantastic school, one of the best schools in Africa, courtesy of the kind of income that we get from Neolife. This school is somewhere in Kenya. It's in a place called Nakuru. And it would not have been possible, me and Janet working as ordinary employed people in some kind of setup or business of sorts. It's only because of Neolife that has been able to happen. The other thing I feel that is so key and critical, in addition to the financial security, is the great health. My dad is approaching 70, and I can tell you he has been using these products ever since I found out about them in 2005. And for me to see him turning or getting towards the age of 70 now is something that I believe has come out of the fact that he has been using these products all throughout. I've seen my brother, I've seen my other family members begin to use these products, and they've been able to appreciate them, and they've been able to have these products change their lives. And every day I go out there and I talk to someone about what the products are about, whether it's a newly born, whether it's a mother of a newly born that wants to use the right kind of cleaning products. For me, what I see is something that is life-changing, something that is of value that I'm adding to society every single day. So as far as the health is concerned, that is something that you'll find with Neolife. My personal development, I came into this business as a very shy young boy at the age of 20. I can tell you, and the people who saw me start this business can tell you that people would start talking and they would want me to share something, and my heart would pump and I'd be so nervous. But over the years, courtesy of this opportunity, I have been able to grow my confidence. I can tell you that even as a 37-year-old, probably I think like a 73-year-old, because of the kind of exposure that this business has been able to help me. Building a business that makes a turnover of about $300,000 every other month requires a certain level of knowledge, a certain level of growth. And one of the things that you can be able to appreciate and help and be able to get from Neolife, is the fact that you're going to find people that are going to mentor you and coach you. I find that so many mentors and coaches out there in the world are very theoretical, but the kind of coaching and mentorship you get in Neolife is practical. It is life-based. It is something that allows you to grow as an individual. I usually tell people, it doesn't matter whether you've been a CEO, whether you've led the World Bank. When you come to Neolife, you start learning afresh. And believe me, it's such a challenging experience, but it's such a beautiful experience at the end of the day, because it teaches you how to actually go out there and succeed in life in as far as business is concerned. Then, ladies and gentlemen, Of course, there's so many benefits. I can't finish them now, but there's one benefit that keeps me in this business, that has kept me in this business for the last 17.5 years. One benefit that I want to just share with you just shortly now. That benefit is to do with legacy. In 2008, having worked with a friend of mine who was doing medicine while I was doing engineering, this gentleman eventually passed on in a bus accident. And this was a person that had sponsored and had shown the business to. They were earning an income of about $1,000 every single month. And unfortunately, when he passed on in a bus accident, it was such a tragic bus accident. It was terrible. Just know that it was very terrible. But this has been now coming to about 15 years, because he passed on in 2008. It's coming to about 15 years now. This gentleman continues to earn an income from Neolife. And for me, that is one of the reasons why I still remain building this opportunity. I've seen bank governors die. I've seen CEOs of big telecom companies die. I've seen people with very good positions out there suddenly leave this earth. And believe me, life moves on. The world never offers their children or their children's children anything. But Neolife, what I've seen it do for this friend of mine, this brother of mine that passed on in 2008, 15 years down the road, he still earns an income from this business, probably about $1,000 more and more dollars every single month. For me, that's one of the reasons why I decided to do this business, because it's some form of insurance. It is some form of assurance that, you know what, whether you're here or not, for as long as you've built a system, you've helped people, you've developed them, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 years, 10 years, I mean, name it, 50 years down the road, Neolife will still be here. And as long as these products are with us, they will be able to benefit from that business. So ladies and gentlemen, as I finish off right now, I just want to encourage every guest on the call, especially if you are here for the first time. I know there are so many negative people, especially when it comes to the kind of business that we do. But I'll tell you something, the negative people everywhere. If you decide to wake up and start a petrol station, you'll find a negative people. If you decide to buy matatus, you'll find negative people. If you decide to do farming, you'll find negative people. But what is important is, if you have proof that people have been able to do it, and today we are privileged that Margaret Amulavu, who has done it for the last 26 years, is proof that it's possible. There are many other people on the calls, including the people who invited you, that are here to show you that it is possible. I have done this for 17.5 years, and it is possible. If someone else has been able to do it and they have succeeded, it means you can also do it. I believe that with that information, all that you are left to do is to just go back and talk to the person who invited you and let them probably show you the form, see how you can get started. It's less than $80, and then get on board and be ready to learn, be open-minded to learn. Nothing is easy in life. Nothing is easy. I don't think I've met anything that is easy in life. Whether you choose to go and do a PhD, whether you choose to go and work your way up to the CEO job, I don't know, whatever you do, nothing is easy. But what I've noticed about Neolife, that when you take this route, the work you do today can forever pay you and be able to have your grandchildren benefit from it. So Margaret, I think I'll turn it back to you. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share my story. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I must add one thing that Andrew didn't say. This St. Andrew's story is not what you think. That's the kind of school people come in choppers to see their children. They've got days they can talk to their children every day. Actually, the fee for St. Andrew's story is $2,000 a month. That means $6,000 in a term. I don't know what kind of business you'll be doing or how much money you'll be earning to be in such a school. An exclusive school is a kind of school when you take your child, you need to get them a passport because their trips are not, you know, in Kenya, people get trips and they just go to the next county. It's an Andrew's story. When you get your child there, you need to get them a passport because you know what? Their trips are international. And I know, Andrew, I know that Irene is either going or has been to an international trip through that school. So amazing. I don't know what else to add. Andrew has said it all. And all I can tell you as we conclude, you talk to the person who invited you and just tell them, what do I need to do? Don't ask many questions, because even with a car, you can't look for where all the nuts and screws and everything are before you buy the car. And then finally, I want to tell you that if you want to make money for a year, grow grains. If you want to earn money for 10 years, grow trees. If you want to earn money for a lifetime, which is what we are in Grow People. Thank you so much for attending this session. Thank you for honoring us with your time, and congratulations. And our guests, kindly talk to the person who invited you And depending on which country you are in, you'll be able to get started. And I'm looking forward to hearing your story one day, like Enandro and I have shared. Thank you so much for listening to us, and God bless you. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.